Hello everyone, this is White Wolf. I was just doing a test run for this live. And also I just wanted to really relay this message that I was getting from my guides and my higher self. And understanding that we have to choose to be motivated even when we don't feel motivated, even when in times when we're not motivated to do the thing that we really want to do, is just really allowing ourselves to understand by the feeling of not being motivated, the feeling of not doing something, the feeling of the attachment to the lack beliefs, the unworthiness, the things that we hold dear to ourselves to perpetuate a false reality, that very well could be the thing that allows us to really quantum leap and to do the things that we feel like we can't do, or to do the things that we feel like we're afraid to do, or to do the things that feel very limited or feel like it's so far away from us, or feel like if we do this then something else will happen instead of what we're wanting to manifest. So choosing to be motivated is just saying, fuck it, I just want to do this thing, I want to think this way, I want to act this way, and choose my actions and my experiences and what I want to channel within this reality. So it's just making the choice to do the thing that feels the most fearful, that feels the most uncomfortable, that feels the most challenging within yourself, and then feeling into the future reality, into the present reality, into the reality that reshapes everything within your life, that allows you to discern what is light and what is dark, and what is feminine and what is masculine, and what is the polarities of positive and negative, and finding out those different energetic combinations and configurations that allow you to see the perception of the I am presence, to see the perception of the I am, to see your perception as generating an appearance of every experience and manifestation, but also tapping in to your innate wisdom of the Ascended Master. So this is where you choose to be different, you choose to be daring, but you choose to be motivated when everything else tells you to not be motivated, because you're not based by definition, by expression, by what tries to interfere with your work, with your progression. That actually is the vehicle of where you really grow and expand and change, and you allow yourself to subtract so much out of your life, because you are not basing it on if I feel motivated, if I feel this, if I feel that, if I think this way, because you're choosing to think differently. You're creating space so that you can create differently, and then once you do that, you're allowing yourself to perceive, you're allowing yourself to think, you're allowing yourself to have the vision, and you're allowing the vision to become who you are, but you're allowing yourself to make the decision that I can dream about what I really want out of my life. To be the dreamer, to be the person that's willing to take the risk, to take the chance, to really have faith in God, to really have faith in the I Am Presence, to have faith in the guides, and to have faith in the wisdom, and no matter what reflection comes along your path, you're willing to take it with the sense of maturity, with the sense of wisdom, with the sense of drive, because that is pushing you past your boiling point, and it's pushing you past your limitations, and it's pushing you past your beliefs, your emotions, the way that you think, the way that you act, the way that you choose your experiences. But it's giving yourself the permission that I have the ability to choose my experiences. I have the ability to choose what I am speaking. I have the ability to have my own truth. I have the ability to tap into consciousness here and now and ditch all the other stuff and say, fuck it. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, because I choose to be motivated in every aspect, in every way of loving myself and having self-care and self-divinity, and this development within yourself that chooses to empower and overwhelm your experience with your vibrational preference. So you're overwhelming your experience with your vibrational presence, with your vibrational preference, but also your divine expression. If you don't have expression, if you don't have preference, if you don't have desires, if you don't have joy in the midst of what you're doing, when it doesn't feel joyful or uplifting or presents a challenge or tries to interfere with your work, then we're never going to have fun and enjoy the journey here and now. So the only way that we preserve who we really are is to challenge our brain, challenge ourselves, but also not be afraid to offer reflections, but also to receive reflections. So this is a constant state of reception when you choose to be motivated. Because everybody around you will be like, why is this person so motivated? Why is this person so anal about doing all these other things and challenging themselves and wanting to be more fulfilled and not wanting to take in negativity or surround themselves with energies that is not more in alignment with what they want to bring forth? This is where you separate yourself from the illusion, but you allow yourself to separate from humanity to ascension, which is actually you tapping into your humanity. It actually means that you're becoming human even more, because you're making the choice to think better, to be better, to want to persevere through the adversity or the obstacle that you created within yourself. Because we create obstacles and problems and thought forms and all of these things, we conjure it up. But then there's that sense of like, okay, if I conjured it up, then I have the ability to debunk it, to destroy it, to allow myself to subtract that but clear it out of myself. And it's not just thinking happy thoughts or being happy-go-lucky all the time or just having fun and acting like a child, but we have to tap into our inner child to really know the child within ourselves. But we blend the inner child with the sense of wisdom and unity and the masculine and the feminine energies, so that there is a sense of the twin heart, so that there is coherence, but there is a sense of being thoughtful, but there's a sense of being deliberate in what you're creating and what you're sending out. Because you're choosing to be motivated so that you send out those smoke signals out into the ethers, and you allow yourself to send out those good vibrations, so that there's a different drive and a different ambition and a different pulse with what you're channeling. So if there's a different pulse, there's a different connection, there's a different frequency, there's a different state of ecstasy with what you're trying to do, then there's no reason why you should not choose to be motivated in this moment. Because everything else just sounds kind of dumb, irrelevant, and doesn't work very well. It works for a moment to appease the ego or to appease the lower realities, the lower vibrations. But once we are able to choose to be motivated, we choose our actions, we choose the way we act, we choose our experiences, and we choose to change the dial and to change the polarity and the paradigm of our life, because we're making the distinct choice to be motivated here and now, and to persevere through adversity, through challenges, through obstacles, and to not see it as any of those things, but to see it as the way, the love, and the light, and the journey of reconfiguring and recalibrating everything within your journey. And you don't feel guilty about following your alignment. You don't feel guilty about following your truth. You don't feel guilty about anything that you do that is of a conscious nature, because your higher self, God, and your guides do not think that way. They don't go about life that way. They don't settle for less. They always want the divine out of everything that you want to experience. They want you to be joyous. They want you to have fun. They want you to have businesses. They want you to live an abundant life. They want you to be prosperous. But the only way to do that is to choose right here, right now, to be motivated, to want to empower yourself, to want to think differently, to, if you want to exercise even more, but if you want to meditate even more and have your meditations be more impactful, if you want to serve people, you have to choose to be motivated, and you have to put yourself out there, because if you don't, then you're just always going to be a hermit. And there's nothing wrong with being a hermit, but we can't be a hermit all the time, because it won't allow us to be of service and to follow our journey and our guidance, and changing our guidance mechanism so that it gives us that innate clarity, and we're able to, through each moment in the day, find a reason to have gratitude, find a reason to have appreciation, and to find a reason to live, dream, and laugh and love, and to experience that childlike wonder. So you should eat the riches of life, not look at why you can't live life, why you can't be full within your belly, but you should see what the riches that you already have, so that you can have all the riches and the experiences of life. And you're welcome, Colin. So, if you've never been here before, this is Spirituality Channel and Meditation Channel. I do healings and meditations, and I do these channel messages, and I do lives for psychic readings and healings. But the one thing I really wanted to get across with this message was it's not about what you think is in your bank account right now. It's not about your height. It's not about your weight. It's not about your build. But it's about your heart. How much heart do you want to have? How can you be courageous and bold in every single moment by knowing that you are favored, by knowing that you're the blessed indeed, to know that the fulfillment comes from the sense of appreciation and gratitude and faith, and having conviction within that faith. Because if we don't have conviction in what we're doing, then we're not going to be strong and have will. But to have will is to choose to motivate yourself here and now, to apply yourself, and to see how far you can take this. So it's understanding how far do you want to go with this? How can you take it all the way? Because it's going to lead you to the golden arches. You have to think, you have to be alive. And you have to be the perseverance, but also you have to be the endless supply of what you want to bring in. You have to feel like you're bountiful, and you have to feel infinite in every one of your configurations. And if you don't feel that way, then you're going to fall back into lack. You're going to fall back into a lack of drive. You're going to fall back into your patterns that don't allow you to really quantum shift and heal past lifetimes, but also tap into parallel realities and timelines which are being blocked from you, or things that you haven't cleared within yourself that are withholding stuff from you, that are not allowing you to shift within that reality and to preserve that reality. And that's what makes it difficult when we hold on to these things, or we don't balance them out, or if we don't heal them, if we don't let go of them, then we don't allow ourselves to add more into our space, because we're creating space so that we can create differently. And if we don't do that, then we don't have subtraction. And if we don't add, then we don't have multiplication. And we don't have the ability to add more depth and reasoning and truth within our lives, so that there is a sense of meaning and transcendent reason to do these things, not doing them haphazard, not doing them scattered, but to have a reason why we do all the things that we do, so that there's a sense of flow. And it just rides. It's smooth. It's not a roller coaster ride where you throw up and it's chaotic, but it's just kind of a gradual peaks and valleys, my friends. There are highs and lows. There just is. But it's to expand on those highs. Not even just expand on the lows, because sometimes you need those lows to expand on the high. Sometimes you need a breakdown to have a breakthrough. But when you're in those peak moments, just do the things that you really want to do. And don't hold on to the things that you don't want to have within your space. Let go of that and embark on a new journey, and change the definition of it. Change the reason behind it. Change the reason why you were affiliated with that story. And then once we do that, we open ourselves to a constant state of reception. When we choose to be motivated, when we choose to be alive, when we choose to be the experience of all that there is, instead of the reminiscence of an experience, because that's dwelling within the past. But if you're the essence of every moment, that means you are the present. That means you are forever. That means you are infinity. But that means that you are the manifestation of life, if you're the essence of everything that's being created. Everything that's being created within our reality is just trying to reflect to us. But it's also trying to give us discernment and wisdom and value, and a sense of, we create this for ourselves, and we accept this creation so that we're able to purify the creation that's being presented to us, in order to break through the chains that are binding us, the energetic bondages or past lifetimes or even family stuff. It just happens to all of us. So we're revealed this, and then we're able to initiate out of that, because we've seen all this shit. We've seen this bullshit. Now we're seeing the light and the love and the consistency, and just staying on the beaten path, and just staying focused and aligned in your own way. Not going this way, not having a mixture, not having this kind of energy come in, but just going your own way and just staying in your own lane and just going with it. That's all that there is to it. It's not complex, it's not rocket science, but it's just kind of staying in your own lane. And it's just listening to the guidance of Spirit at the end of the day. If you just listen to the guidance of Spirit, it will guide you through everything and it will never fail you. It's one thing I was told a long time ago. That Spirit will never fail you, it will never misguide you, it will never mislead you, it will always lead you to where you need to be and give you the most benefit from your own journey. That's not how the divine works. Because the divine doesn't work in opinions or feelings or scattered ways of thinking and being unaligned, because the divine's always aligned. It's always preserving its children, its chosen, it's metaphysical. It's always doing that. So just choose to be motivated and fuck everything else. Fuck everything else. Because everything else doesn't matter. We make it matter, we make it physical, we make it solid, and we make it real. So we just have to be kind of like professional wrestlers and make it as real as we can make it within our own experience. Make it as real as you make it. Make your delusion and your illusion and your craziness as real as you can make it. And it will be everything that you want it to be. It's okay to be the hermit. Now, don't get me wrong. We all need to be a hermit sometimes. But we can't do it for the rest of our existence. Is what I was meaning with that. But I think you understand. So I'm just checking to see if my guides want me to do anything before we do a meditation. But before we do this meditation, I want to let you guys know that I'll be going live during the week doing psychic readings, healings, activations. There will be $20 to $25 donations for the readings and healings and activations and Akashic records. But I also have private sessions that you guys can take on for $170 and 2 hours for $270. So we're going to do a meditation to kind of wrap this message up and to allow everybody to enjoy their day. And to also just kind of reinforce and bring everything together, because we should always do our messages and we should always, kind of wrap it up with a meditation and kind of bring everything together so that everybody gets a sense of what they're experiencing and receiving. How do you protect yourself from negativity? I'm going to answer this one question and then we'll do a meditation. How do you protect yourself from negativity without turning your back on those who live in that world? If the relationship is out of mutual respect, if the relationship is not an infringement upon your free will or alignment, or not allowing you to grow, it doesn't matter if you have contact with them or not. If you feel led to do that, I don't always offer to do that, but if it feels like it's taking away from your experience as a creator, as a person that meditates, as a person that wants to immerse themselves in their own world, if it's out of a mutual respect, or if it feels like it's not out of a mutual respect, you just have to communicate your truth with authority and communicate and demonstrate your truth in a way that really allows you to protect yourself from the negativity, but just letting everybody know that I'm going to live my life like this, but I don't have to be within your world and within your energy. But the way to protect yourself is to put the billion layer protection grid over yourself, or a rainbow energy around yourself, or a golden bubble, because that's not going to allow you to take that on. But also saging yourself down after you're going out and about places as well. But when it feels like there's judgment, or there's not love there, or there's not respect there, or if it's not honoring your path, you're not obligated to live everybody's life and you're not obligated to live everybody's journey. And at some point you have to respect your free will and live your own path and not feel guilty about turning your back on everybody else's path, because that's not your cross to bear. There's a cosmological law with free will that we are our own beings. We are our own beings. So live your journey, be non-dual, be independent, be your creation, but just know that you don't have to sacrifice your alignment for other people that live in that kind of world. And I'm not saying that you don't have to interact with them, but it's really just saying, breathe life into your space, respect your alignment, respect your free will, respect who you are, and be the creator of your reality, and be the oracle of bloodline wisdom, and only have that within your space. Because then that's going to allow you to have your own illusion, to separate yourself from the distorted illusion that tries to interfere with your reality. I don't know if that was the best answer for your question, but that's what I wanted to relay to you. So we're going to do a meditation, guys, so I hope you guys feel free to take this meditation and receive what you want to receive, and then, take away from it what you don't want to receive. Also receive what you want to receive. If something doesn't resonate, just throw it in the trash. And we'll just do the meditation. Okay. So everybody get grounded, get centered. Allow yourself to relax your spine, your mind, your thoughts, everything in this moment. And I want you to think about the things that really motivate you, the things that really make you feel like a creator, the things that makes you fulfilled in this moment, your destiny fulfilled, your accomplishments, your ambitions, your goals, your dreams, your desires, whatever they may be, no matter what challenges, no matter what reflections present themselves, no matter what appears to you that tries to eliminate the experience, allow yourself to be the experience. Because when you allow yourself to be the experience, you're allowing yourself to eliminate everything that tries to come within your space, that tries to distort the reality, that tries to make lack beliefs appear. But now you're able to disregard that. You're able to eliminate that. You're able to debunk that. And you're not able to be swayed within that way of thinking, within that way of projection. Because your projection is to project that you are the manifestation of life. To project that you are the reason why the obstacles or the problems or the issues are being created. Now you're just choosing to create differently. And you're choosing to subtract differently. And you're choosing to add more within your space so that you're able to multiply. And then you're able to plant more seeds. And as those seeds grow, you allow yourself to be the endless supply, to be the fertilizer, to be the reason why it sprouts, why it grows, and to be the refreshment that is water. So you're allowing yourself to be the water, why everything grows, why everything exists. And you can be the oxygen of your life. You just have to be that fresh air. You have to make everything as light as air in order to be motivated. Because if there's pressure, if there's resistance, if there's a lack belief, if there's a false attachment in the midst of what you're trying to do, then it's instantaneously just going to crack and fall apart. But if you have the ability to say, I choose to be motivated in this moment. I choose to think differently. I choose to act differently. I choose to exercise when I don't feel like exercising. I choose to be creative when everything around me is telling me that I am not creative. Even though that there are problems within my own reality, I have the ability to be the solution. I have the ability to be the love revolution, to be universally loving towards everything. Choosing to be motivated is not allowing anything to interfere with your vibrational alignment. literally anything that tries to step in the way of what you're trying to bring forth, what you're trying to become the power of, no. You just say no to that. You don't accept that. You don't identify with that. And when you have the ability to do that, that's when you become very powerful within what you're trying to channel, what you're trying to bring forth, and the power that is sourcing through you from your heart centers. Because you're coming from your heart, you're not coming from a place of complacency, of lack, of unworthiness, of misguided truth. But you're following your own resonance, your own truth, and you're giving off the impression that you can live by your vibrational expression. Because you're relieving the tension, you're relieving the pressure, and that's why I use that analogy to be as light as air. And it's just choosing in that moment to be the parallel reality manifested, to be the quantum shift, to be the change when you're breaking off something inside of yourself that needs to be healed, to be that release, to be what is being lifted off of you. It's so beautiful. Because I was dealing with something for 2 days, and then at night, last night, it was like something broke off of me, something lifted off. And it was so beautiful. I was back in my groove. I was back in my synchronization. And it can just literally be like that. You can have 30 minutes, 2 days, a week of it, but then when that goes away, then that's when the light comes in. And then everything else dissipates. The world doesn't matter, all the problems in the world, they all fall away because we're not adding fuel to the fire anymore. And we're not choosing to live that distorted reality anymore. But we're choosing to be motivated, to be healthy, to be whole, to be fulfilled. So which version of yourself do you want to be in this moment? It's always that choice. Do I want to be my higher self, or do I want to be myself? And just ask yourself that question throughout the entire day. Do I want to be the higher self, or do I just want to be myself? And I'm doing that intentionally because when you're just yourself, you just have a self-awareness of the ego. But when you're the higher self, you have grace, you have understanding, you have an undying love and compassion, you have balance. You see yourself as God, as the Creator, as the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom. And you don't see yourself as a thing. You don't see yourself as a person. But you see yourself as everything that is generated inside of the universe. And that's how we choose to be motivated. That's how we choose the life of our dreams. And that's how we choose to imbibe the flow of energy. The constant progression, constant awareness, automatic choices, automatically activating within everything within your reality. Just reshaping every single thing that you experience. Because you're becoming the essence of every moment instead of the reminiscence of a moment. This is where you can live in the internal present. And the only thing that you have to do is to choose to be motivated. And then the rest is history. And it was funny because after the meditation, when you have the ability to change your state, to change your feelings, to change your viewpoint of the world, to change the illusion inside of yourself, then you have the ability to change everything inside of your reality. And then that's when everything starts to change. That's when your feelings change. That's when everything changes, the way that you attract relationships, the way that you attract books. It doesn't matter what it is, what you want to do. It starts to put everything into overdrive. And it changes literally everything that you want to experience within your life. And just think about it in that way. And it's just a healthy tip to choose the most preferred state of reality, the most preferred state of consciousness, but your preference. At the end of the day, it's just your preference. So, I hope everyone enjoyed the meditation. Thank you for being a part of this message. Also, guys, feel free to book private sessions. It's $170 for 1 hour and $270 for 2 hours. And also, we are going to go live doing psychic readings, healings, activations tonight around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern. And the donations are $20 to $25, so I hope I see you guys then. Also, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, and thank you for receiving. This is White Wolf signing off, and so it is. And if you need to rewatch this, White Wolf the Oracle on YouTube is my YouTube channel if you need to rewatch it for any reason. So thank you, God bless, and namaste.